So part of the S in study is review. What else? So?
To study, it just means to examine a certain subject and learn from it.
So examine. Write that down. Examine. Something else. So?
To watch others, see how they do it and learn.
Yeah, observe and watch, yeah. You're going to be doing that a lot as an instructor. And each time you do it, each time you do it, you will reflect upon your part in that study. At the moment, I'm working with the laws of combat and the rules of 5. I'm working on a lot of things because I want to be able to throw things into the class over and over and over again. I was doing it last night in the class and testing what understanding people get about, well, what did I say? You're in the class this time. Were you teaching, were you training last night? Yeah. You're worried now because I'm going to test you. But I was shouting in, which hand do we block with?
The one closest.
The one closest to you. Which hand do we hit with? The one closest to them. So that's one of the rules of 5. We've got basically laws, principles, rules, strategies and techniques. Happens to be 5. Okay? But the rule is, it's something that generally works, but it doesn't work often enough to be a law. A law works every time. Okay, so that kind of thing. I want to be able to indoctrinate you guys to throw that stuff into the class. And that's, as Mr. Spencer was saying, you observe other people, how they do it, and you reflect it back on yourself and think, okay, so how do I do it? All right? So far we've got study, we've got review, we've got examine, we've got observe. What else do we need? What else is happening in there? What about, let's get something, I'm quite big on stories and metaphors. So let's have a look at, and sayings, and some of the sayings are cross over to metaphors. So, what is the mother of skill? So, sorry?
Practice.
Practice or repetition, same thing, but repetition is the mother of skill. Write it down. In the laws of success book, the 5 laws of success, we also mention on study that the more you know, the easier it is to know more. So write that one down as well. These are useful, these sayings, because what it does, it gives you an example, it reinforces on yourself what the study is about, but it also is something that it gives you a link. Very often when you read things, you draw comparisons from other sources. The information that you're giving out as an instructor is not new. The laws are not new, they've always existed. I was talking last week about the Miyamoto Musashi, who wrote the book of 5 rings, which happens to be 5 again. And we talked about how I'd read this book starting off when I was about 17, and I'm 28 now, so it's a few years ago. So by the time when I was reading it as 17, I missed the facts of the 5. And then I came to my own principle of the 5. Now maybe he affected me in some way, I don't know. At the end of the day, what he was looking at was, this book was written in about 400 years ago. He was covering the same topics as I am. What makes it more difficult to understand his book is that it's being translated from old Japanese to modern Japanese and from modern Japanese into English. So some of it is potentially lost or more difficult to decipher. Okay, but the content, I mean, this guy, Miyamoto Musashi, had over 60 duels to the death. And after the 60 he was still alive. He died of old age. Okay? But he set up his own sword school, and he was what we called a ronin, which meant he was a travelling samurai. He had no specific master that he would report to. So this was Miyamoto Musashi. So there was comparisons there. I'm reading at the moment Tony Blair's autobiography, and even he's talking about boxing. He's using attack is the best defence. He's using other analogies about that all comes together, and you'll find that when you're focused on something, you'll find other things that seem to agree with what you're already doing. So like if you're looking for a new car, and you want, what's the car? You might be thinking of a Mercedes or something like that. You might be thinking of a Vectra. Whatever you're looking for, you'll see lots of them. As soon as you say that's what you want, you'll see lots of them. You've been looking at premises this week, Miss has been telling me. You now are tuned in to premises. You will not be able to go down the street without picking up signboards to let, for sale, residential. and so on. What happens, it's a part of your brain called the reticular cortex, and it's the recognition element. It picks up what you're interested in. Okay, so what have we got so far? We've got these metaphors, we've got these descriptions. I used another word, reinforce. Write reinforce down. Study is to reinforce the information that we're studying. It's like, I didn't do it much myself, except on subjects at school and in college. I would be best at the subjects I liked. And the subjects I liked, if I got some homework on it, I would study that subject and around that subject. And let's face it, with the internet today, that is easy. I mean, you just go, you come across a word you don't know, Google definition, ... or whatever the word is. Okay? And you find more. You can go to Wikipedia, you can go to other sources to find information. So there's no, if you're not doing well at school, it shouldn't be for lack of research. The internet's got it all there for you, at least in some, or you'll find the information through the internet. So the idea is you've got to reinforce the information that you're taking on board. Okay, so that's study. Right. Write another question down. How do we link this to martial arts? Okay, how do we link this to martial arts? Because in leadership, this is our leadership topic. How do we link that leadership topic to martial arts? So I want you to just consider that for a moment. Just long enough for me to grab my coffee. Okay, how do we link this to martial arts? Our leadership topic. Somebody started off? Okay, well what do we do? Repetition is the mother of skill. What do we do every time we come to class? So, we repeat stuff, we practice. So this is how we reinforce the information. We've got to build it into our muscle memory. We've got to build it into our long-term memory. Our martial arts, if we got attacked on the way out tonight and we had to think about what we did, we would be more likely to be beaten. Because the brain is not quick enough. It's got to think and make decisions. Oh, what do you teach me? Front kick. Boom, you're already finished. Too long. So we're trying to build this repetition into our muscle memory. So you get attacked, boom, 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 all of a sudden someone's on the floor and it's not you, and you think, what the hell was that about? Now, so we've got to do the same thing with your ability to teach. When you step on that mat, it wants to be completely planned for each session, but that you know what you're going to do. Okay, when I step on the mat, I know before I step on there what I'm going to do. And at times I'll add extras into the mix, because something that someone's done has reminded me of some other law or rule that is either being broken or being reinforced. Okay? How else do we mix this up? What we study. How does study affect our martial arts? I've given you one. Let's think about some more.